Yeah, I mean, like re-aggressive spots at these stakes, like people where people like re-aggress. You know what I mean? Like where you're like, so you bet flop. I'm imagining,
Yes, and he called.
and then you bet turn,
I checked the turn.
and you check the turn, and he checked,
And he
and then
checked,
you bet
yeah.
river.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people are really bad at reopening spots as bluffs. You know,
What are the reopening? What?
like re-raising and stuff. Like,
Oh, okay, re-raising. Okay, okay.
like the most
Okay.
common spots that people are gonna bluff. Like, if I ask you what's the most common line that people are gonna bluff at these stakes,
Yeah,
what
they're
would you
gonna
say?
just check down or like, I don't know.
Yeah, but what would be the line that people bluff the most?
What are the lines? Like, how can I classify the line?
Like bet check bet, or like, you know, like check raise bet bet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they are not going to like raise a lot because they're scared.
yeah. Well, it's
They
also
don't
just
charge it.
unintuitive for people, right?
Yeah.
It's unintuitive to raise in many spots as a bluff. Certainly a spot where you like an easy line for if people are bluffing too much is just ask yourself from their perspective, does this look like a spot I'm going to always call or always fold? If this looks like a spot that I have a lot of good hands, then they're probably not bluffing. When the ace river comes, it just seems like you have an ace.
Yeah.
Are they trying to bluff an ace?
Nope.
No. Right? And so like that's just a very easy heuristic. Like you can just ask yourself, like, do I look strong or weak? I look strong? Okay, they're probably value raising. Do I look really weak? Okay, they're probably bluffing. Right? And so like the most common line though that people at this stake are gonna bluff, it's just gonna be bet, bet, bet. Right? They're just gonna bet flop, bet turn, bet river. Because that just requires no creativity. It's just easy. I bet, let me just keep going. Once people start checking, they just check all the way down often. Right? And then once people check, and then as soon as you start, the more lines, the more like bets you introduce. So if it's like check raise, you know, check raise, bet, bet, then it's like, okay, this is just never a bluff. Because at each decision point, people have to decide to bluff, right? And so like the more bets you get, the fewer so for example, if someone goes check raise, check raise, check raise, they're just never bluffing. They have to decide to check raise 3 times, right? So that's 6 added bets in this line where someone has to have decided. But like it's the most likely thing is just like someone puts in like a single bet at one point, or someone just bets all the way.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, like the good thing that you said, like how can I develop a habit of like simplifying things like that? Like how can I ask myself good questions in those positions? Like when you said
Heck, do I look strong? When I said like, do I look strong or weak?